Welcome back to the second part of the show, Trending Issues and Rebuilding Ghana. Today the topic is Democracy Under Siege. You'll be looking into democracy. The current democratic practices are Ghana. First, you see that interview that happened between Bernard Avlo and Jimabwadi, who used to be my professor back in the days. So I took a course from him when I was at the University of Ghana. He's a very knowledgeable man. Not only that, he's very practical and he's very objective where national issues are concerned. And as our voices in India has been suppressed. Because no matter how I'll be reasoning, you should reason either to suit MPP or NDC. In the civil society organizations in India has one way or the other has become a pressure group that are there to influence government policies aligned to particular political party. We saw the CJA for NDC, we saw the AFAG for MPP. But you see, there should be an independent voice or voices. Once more, in any democratic society, we need the academicians also to step in when it comes to policies, not just policies, national decisions. Now, get it quick. Once more, me welcome you, as I always say, you divide the program into three. The initial one, I do the introduction, then I do the bulletin or trending issues in Ghana. Then we talked about the topic of the day, which is rebuilding Ghana. And then we'll just give you a quick look into your democracy, where we are, if there's something that we can do. People say even our democracy itself dies in silence. But you see, it's a very complex or very complicated ideology to practice. But I think it's too early for us to say RIP to our democracy. But when we say it's under attack, we should be able to justify it. But we still have that opportunity to rectify what is happening and to put it in a very good shape. Now, go into this. I say, Akufo-Addo retires NLA boss, or say Ameya fires deputy. Wow. You see, mostly government be a second term there. It's not much for him to lose. At that time, he as a person, he now support so much to regain power. He has already attained the second term. They had sometimes they're able to make very bold decisions. Supreme Court of Ghana failed you, Manasa Azuri, to Domlevo. 4 suspected armed robbers arrested at Ofako. I think it's Ofanko, no much on Ofako. Anyway. Insecurity in Ghana there has become a culture. Yes. Anytime this man writes, I'm so touched to go and read it. I'm so eager to know. Professor Kwaku Asare, or no, and there's another lawyer called Lawyer Ichprempe. These young men, you see, not only does almost the legal knowledge contribute to Ghana, they're very practical and very objective, and they really understand contemporary democratic governance. Okay? They are almost supposed to pay attention to it. But the point is, public opinion ain't yejuma. So such people, I'm sorry to say, it's like I said, like your mindset is so predetermined. As a Accra, you are born into a political association. You have to toe the same line. But it's about time says you to me trust and realize you say the destiny of your people is really lies in the hands of the leaders. You acknowledge that you shift the burden on the leaders. I can't really be. Let's look at what this man is saying. I say, I've instructed my lawyers to withdraw my case against the AG over Domlevo saga. The same thing now, Manasa Azuri Zukai, Supreme Court is disappointed. It's a very lengthy article, just 2 pages. I may not be able to go into all, but he had also asked the court to restrain the Deputy Auditor General from acting as an Auditor General since the country could not have both substantive and acting general. He was talking about this conflict, okay? Because Domlevo Echo leave, and the acting one by after Domlevo, the issue was that, okay, I mean, quoting emotion into our cancer. I say, in the red file in July 2020, the lawyer prayed in relief 12 for the court to grant an expedited hearing of the motion for injunction and the substantive cause, given the important financial watchdog role played by the Auditor General and harm that any delay will cause to the financial system and the integrity of the Constitution. According to him, the court did not grant the injunction and did not give any directive pursuant to his prayer for an expedited hearing. Fine, almost denied. So you see, it's one of the frustrations are all feeling with the judiciary. And then are compelling to withdraw the case. Because you see, judiciary issue, you see, one of the challenges of your democracy today has become Ghana's judiciary. Irrespective of how you target, some see it as an extension of a political arm, or as a gradual, their decisions are actually not reflecting the standard of a democratic judicial system. That is the danger right now, because someone said the judiciary cannot confront and check the excessive powers or the excessive use of authority within the executive arm. Then you ask yourself, what is the relevance of our judiciary? Not only that it has become political, there's too much influences are affecting the rulings or the judgments about Bontine. You see, it's getting to a point it will become a market without participant, and that will be a very dangerous thing for Ghana's democracy. At that point, you can say RIP to our democracy. Okay. Sorry, I may not be able to go so much into it, but I recommend so I've time take time and go through with this man. John Mahama is Ghana's Donald Trump. According to Kwame Duncan, ridiculous. I don't want to go into this story, I'm sorry. I'm seeing a new leadership, Alote Jacobs. Okay, from NDC Central Regional Chairman Bernard Alote Jacob has applauded President Akufo-Addo over his State of the Nation's address, which is the SONA. You know what? I don't want to go into Alote, I mean, these people, Alote practices here also were free NDC in him. So, man, so be it. MPP for more coming and any choice, any day. MPP Ashanti Regional Secretary Sampine, you are an embarrassment to the world. MPP has slammed the minority in parliament over their behavior towards the Chief Justice and Iyeboah. You see, we talked about it yesterday. Almost say, man about no more harassing, no more humiliating, but they're also giving a different version of the story. But all in all, you ask yourself, what was the cause in Tiabema members of parliament, ISR? And I said it. Kwekwenyi Dewu and Nanama, this issue, I know it's been trending. Honestly, I'm not interested in this story. I won't get into it. Canada, Japan rejects free COVID-19 vaccines to Ghana. Let me see his reasoning here. A central lawmaker at Japan has said he is against the free supply of COVID-19 vaccine to Ghana. He said the free supply of the vaccine to developing countries by the developed economies will further increase the over-reliance on them by third world countries for support. Speaking on his television station on Wednesday, March 10th, the businessman called on his fellow businesswomen to write and support government procure the vaccines. I'm not bragging, but I'm prepared to give Akufo-Addo $1 million to procure the vaccines, he said. God bless you for your generosity. You see, acquisition of wealth there, but quite also first way using on very important. I don't think that is the first time I can do BBC. You see, that's why sometimes assassinated. I came here defending him, sir. Irrespective of differences, I wouldn't know. Look at the contribution to the society. Taking his life will not be the end of it, and that you can't even justify for that. Because you see, remember now, the story never from man really. I was thinking so because you see, excuse me, Africans as pigs to try vaccine, but that's not what he's saying. He's talking about over-reliance, okay? And all edgy private sector, so more government and no yes, Some may say, okay, but some will also ask, say, looking at 30 million population, loans are the Ghana government own to me vaccinated the citizens. That is also another legitimate or important question for us to ask. Anyway, let's get into this story too. Osei Amia writes to President, informing him of expiration of his one-year contract. The Director General of the National Lottery Authority, Kofi Osei Amia, indicated to President. That's the earlier story I hear. Okay, Alan's camp denying Chief Obosu, saying he wasn't an aide to the trade minister. The camp of the trade minister, Alan Acheampong, has revealed that claims being made by one Chief Obosu that he is a former press aide to minister is not true. The team, in a brief message copied to 3 News, said Chief Obosu was rather a member of the campaign media team. He was a member. Oh, okay. But he wasn't an aide. Okay, he was a member of the campaign. Okay. During the primaries to elect Alan Acheampong as their flag bearer. You see, it's one of the partisan issues and internal struggle for power. Anyway, you'll be seeing this getting to almost next Congress now, Congress now, so these things will be coming up. From Ifa Dete to the families of the kidnapped girls, sue families of the jail Takoradi kidnappers. I mean, he's looking at the civil aspect and also government. Yeah, one or two stories now, yeah, and the trending issues, and I believe I say spending so much time on it. You see, Obuasi police gunned down 2 suspected armed robbers to 4 attempted raid. Insecurity in Ghana, the aim say, Komaba say, every day be a BBC or every day be a BC. It's so unfortunate, say, Adewe. It has been with us and it's been part of us, but you need to maintenance in take strategy, at least you need to mean eradicating it to 0. You've been minimizing it to 10. Because we share statistics are almost every month behind a very recorded 2 or 3. It's gradually becoming a normal culture. In the population here, KCS in Nigeria, the NSA Ghana, you to me handle. Ghana remains a highly flawed democracy, according to Juma Buedi. Election petition, NDC had no case, Juma Buedi. That is his observation. Nanado's anti-corruption credibility is in tatters. That is true. He failed. The fight against corruption, or to me, they will just say the same. They come with a big word, because that is the major problem for Ghana's contemporary democracy. Corruption is not fought alone or quietly, Domlevo. I mean, he did his part. Or moving on. All right, let's get into this story. City News, there's this gentleman there. He has a very intelligent question. He's a friend of Bernard Avlet or Kansembi. Okay. Anyway, I say Parliament approves regional ministers designate 1 bulletin and also and as a powerful issue. I think the government needs set investigations into it. Yeah. Let's wrap up with what Juma Buedi is saying. Look, I know this man very well. He's a very, very intelligent where political concepts and policies are concerned. I say the executive director for Afrobarometer, Professor Emmanuel Acheampong, has given a description of the state of democracy in Ghana, describing it as largely flawed. Okay? So I also tag and say our democracy is under siege. Now, what are some of the reasons Professor Jimobwedi added by now? You be 2 or 3 reasons. On and he talked about recent developments that required action have been left unattended to, and that was disappointing. So, getting into the background of us, say, yeah, democracy now, and sana yeah, where it is right now. You started on a very bad note. I say we started basically on a controversial transition election, but since then, a lot of water has passed under the bridge. Or kind of different transition that you go through, no body the fact remains that 25 years down the line, Ghana remains a highly flawed democracy. It is a democracy which is increasingly declining in quality, okay, whose dividends, institutions, and processes are increasingly captured by few elites, mainly politicians, their party supporters, presidents, families, and friends. Sorry, presidents, families, and friends, and cronies. Okay, one put in the wall. Bureaucrats and workplace businessmen and women, private sector operations, and by some media leaders and CSOs leaders, he opined. Okay, Adeoye, what described the beneficiaries of Ghana's democracy. Okay, now it conformed to how one political philosopher actually defined democracy itself. Or say, who gets what, when and how, and who pays. This is what Professor Jimabwedi is telling us. So the current democratic system of Ghana now you're practicing Angasana, that should actually bring benefit to the people. Because in the moment the country will tell you, say, change from all forms of government, name this particular government and I accept to say it's a democratic government, at least as a certain things be. And all catch them say institutions, and no more a controlling any. And this is what Jimabwedi is telling us. If you just saw the paragraph now, I mean, he said it all. Or Chenko Fuan Kasa, Chronomutim, a benefit to you. And so analysis here, it tells us clearly it's not satisfying majority of the people in the country. About 30 million population, it's like thousands be and they benefited from the state. Take your time no chill and then I'm offering family and friends government, But even him coming from the field of academia, he has actually risen to an ordinary person on the street to tell you the quality of a democracy in New York. In practice or actuality, you accept the ideology, all right, but the essential elements, I can say, be improving the lives of the people or resorting to the institutions or resorting to how, let's say, benefit the citizens and what. And what savings, or more benefit any private sectors be businesswomen be or my police or my party members in be, CSOs be those civil society organizations, many certain media be. Because today's Ghana's democracy, the media houses in the Bibre, they are just there to work for corporations and the politicians, or precisely the political parties. Okay, to a bar foreman, he said the foregoing development continues to create a worrying situation of inequality. That's it. And one thing democracy itself actually speaks against is inequality because it actually stands for equality. Not I mean, we shouldn't be confused here, or nobody should get this concept wrong. The mere fact you practice democracy doesn't mean so mine but you see, democratic societies are adapted a private sector that dwells on capitalist system. And if that is the case, a ma obio opportunity, okay, to compete where the national resources are. But the problem you face where you crew money say your national resources, okay, in creating a myesa national and myesa opportunity, no. But national resources in the moment normally create inequality, no. But so private wealth and how the chain will be there, that is okay. But where the minerals of the country, the gold, the manganese, the gas, the cocoa, the tea, you know, sa nyoma by Nyankopon de a blessed country, you know, say yen share my citizens and I find improve upon their lives to give them good security, good drinking water, electricity, any roads. Especially if you're about men can't go for 2-3 weeks ago, I did see Accra Kumasi. Tiamubusa leaders, no. I mean, what is the relevance of them? And say offices are various offices are this the purpose of the offices. I mean, these are some of the questions we should start questioning them, we should start asking ourselves. Okay? It's just one piece article. In the city for a summary, aside question and answers, you know. Yeah, every sentence the man was making sense. And not just sense, he was speaking practically to how an ordinary person like you and I, you better see. Osa kasim bi ha, I say some positive democratic developments in the country. We know the good side. Jimabwedi said Ghana's election process have become more transparent and more competitive, while the media space has opened up many different voices. Look, I may disagree with him here. Yes, you can give some credit to the electoral processes, no, but it's not that transparent as he thinks or as he believes or as he is opining. Because, you see, a transparent electoral system, and you see in a debate, in as much as people get up, if you are not compare with that of the early transition, the early days of 92, 96 election, no, you know, fine, in as much as he improve, you know. The USHA European Union report in regards to this 2020 election, this thing was absolutely wrong. I say, you know, the polls were okay, but during the coalition, there was a problem. And court also getting the opportunity to bring clarity to the people. And we saw the outcome of the court position where this election is concerned. You see, I don't want to get into this trial. I know say we talk so much about it. We are moving on as people. But I had a big disagreement. And like I said, look, I say, media space has opened up many different voices. That is true. There's a lot of media houses, especially in the social media, those podcasts and bloggers, they are actually helping. I say, on the issue of the fight against corruption, which he agrees is a major challenge in the country, he said, the credibility of President Akufo-Addo in the fight against corruption is in tatters, and that is demonstrated amongst others examples in the way the former Auditor General, Daniel Domelevo, was treated. He said Domelevo's exit from office was a predetermined, deliberate action taken to get him removed from office. That's it. Let's end it there. I'm not surprised because I'm not surprised that Gwasare IAS or challenging that issue. Also instructing lawyers to withdraw that case, you know. So gradually, you see, this is where the judiciary should be bold enough and let the executive feel say there is a power that can check its excessive and abusive nature. And if you are not able to do that, then you can simply conclude that indeed Ghana's democracy is under siege. And gradually, we've seen all these challenges of inequality, injustice, the use of state institutions for political parties to attain their gains. Kromwa, so to say, just a phone call to Ukraine, a call for impeachment of Trump. They succeeded with the first impeachment. The second, of course, Senate, and Senate is CV, you know. There was another thing that also happened. Trump mounting a platform just to say the word fight. It also called for second impeachment in the history of this country. He's the only president who has been impeached twice. Senate and the Senate saving until he wasn't removed from office. I don't want us to get into that. So you want to tell me, look, government decided the future of a citizen, not the constitution. Because, look, they control the state security, they control the state institutions. People from the academia, ukasa, they either come after you. And Sanyoma way in gradually, no only country losing the credentials or the quality of its democracy. The citizens must also voice out. Once more, Ming commended this man for coming out boldly, because in moments like this, about entire nation, either you become silent, you behave like ostrich, only few people like this need to me akasa. Look, in any society, the academicians will become timid. Gradually, society will become a shanty town. I will say a good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for your time.